Hello there, and welcome to another weekly episode of Young with Ram. You know, the series where you ask the questions and I give the answers for most of the time. Now, before the questions, there's nothing really of relevance to speak about. We are all waiting for 1.37 to hit the street and to see how it is. The dev server has been up a couple of times. We have been all, well, I have been there. Most of us have been there at some point. Um, we all more or less know what's coming, and well, the thing is that, of course, in the current state, there are some flight models that are now said to be fixed that are not fixed yet. There are a lot of incoming stuff that we still can't try. So, just holding our breath, at least I'm holding mine to 1.37 to, well, be the great path we are all waiting it to be. We'll see how it goes. So as for what's going on, that's it. There's nothing big to mention. So yeah, let's move directly into the questions and answers. Now the first question is, what do you think about the future of HB if devs go through with their idea to implement mixed teams? Well, basically, it's not happening. They, I think they really wanted it to happen. Don't ask me why. I don't understand. But the community lashback has been so strong and so, I mean, in such terms, categorical terms, that they simply have backed down. They went as far as into posting a poll about the issue. I don't know what they were expecting. I mean, everyone who flies historical battles for a reason, and that reason is that there's some historicality in it. Not a lot, but well, still. And the fact that you are playing faction versus faction, that you are playing national stuff, is, I mean, is the core of the game mode. If you take that away, you are destroying most of the reasons why people fly historical battles in the first instance. So I don't understand why they actually were interested in changing that, and they were. But the community has made it clear to them that that's not happening. And if that happens, well, it will become a desert, that game mode, because no one who's currently playing it will go on playing it. As for my personal view on it, if that ever happens in War Thunder, I will stop playing the game. I play it really not that much anymore, as it is, for several reasons. But if that change ever is introduced, I will simply lose interest. I mean, I'm not into full real battles, simply for the reason that the visibility issues are so huge that it's worthless. I mean, I don't want to play a blind pilot. I want to play a pilot. If somehow there's a way to address the visibility issues in full real battles, probably I will start playing it. But my main game mode in War Thunder is historical, and it's historical for the reason that it's historical. If they take away the core of the mode, which is nation only access, I will simply quit. Because I don't play arcade anymore. I don't enjoy myself playing arcade, and I would lose interest in historical battles if that change ever happened. But it's not happening. It's not coming. I mean, they simply back down. Now, next question. Ron, can you tell us what is the best boom and summer with a very good climb rate that is not a jet? Well, one of the particular things about boom and summers is that because of their particular characteristics, they usually are not good climbers. Now, to have a very good boom and summer, you want a good boom and summer. What you want is a plane that is fast, that has pretty good aerodynamics, but overall that is kind of heavy. Now, of course, being heavy comes at a cost that you don't climb very well because you are very heavy. You need a really powerful engine to start climbing well. Most of the boom and summers are not good climbers. For that reason, I mean, you pay. It's kind of a trade-off. I mean, in many cases and in many different areas, it's the same. I mean, if you want to be good at something, you have to sacrifice something in other areas. So if you want to be a good boom assumer, you have to sacrifice something in the department of climb rate and acceleration, because you need a heavy plane. Now, by the most late stages of the war, of World War II, technology had advanced enough to provide with very, very powerful engine that somehow compensated for the heaviness of the planes. Now, at those moments, there were also very lightweight planes using those engines. So it's kind of the same. Planes that were lightweight would climb and accelerate much better than others that wouldn't climb as well, but would be better at boom and zoom. So it's kind of a trade-off. You are not going to have a boom and zoomer that is going to be a top class climber. You can have a boom and zoomer which is reasonably good at climbing, but is never going to be a number one. And the best instance of this, and probably the best climbing boom and zoomer, would be the Focus-1 Any. At least in the mid-late war. By the post-war stuff, probably the Sea Fury, and maybe I would add to the mix the P-47M. Which is not in the game currently. The Sea Fury is also not in the game, but the Tempest 2 is coming, and the Tempest 2 is kind of the predecessor of the Sea Fury. But what we have in the game, the Focus-1 Any series, is an excellent boom and zoomer with pretty good climbing. But of course, it's not top class climbing, so you are going to be outclimbed by Spitfire LF9s, you are going to be outclimbed by BF-109s, you are going to be outclimbed by Bearcats. There's a lot of stuff that is going to outclimb you, because you are not a climbing specialist, you are a boom and zoomer specialist. But still, for a boom and zoomer, they climb really well. So probably that family, 190 family, the Focus-1 Any A5, the Focus-1 Any Doras. The incoming A8, I think is not going to be. The Focus-1 Any A5 is a very good climber for an NE43 plane. The Focus-1 Any A8 is an NE44 plane. Kind of a different stuff here, because it will have more or less the same climb rate as the A5, as it's heavier but has a more powerful engine. But for NE44 standards, maybe that climb rate is not enough. But anyway, the fighter versions of the Focus-1 Any were decent climbers and acceleration and accelerators, and really good at boom assuming. So yeah, the 190 family is the answer to this question. Next question. If they remove Nation versus Nation in historical battles, will you really quit War Thunder? Oh yeah, I have already stated it. There would be no point for me in doing so. You play games because you have fun. And you have fun with games because they meet your expectations, at least to a point. If that change ever happens, I will have no interest in playing War Thunder anymore, so I would quit, yeah. Next question. You talked a lot about Airland Battle, but you didn't mention specifically if you were going to make any kind of tutorial for beginners. Will you make tutorial of Airland Battle? Well, as you can see, I have started posting some videos about, explaining the game and explaining the basics of the game. Now, as I stated in my first video on tutorials, I'm new to Wargame Airland Battle. I have been playing it for 3 weeks now. It's an excellent game. I think I do pretty decent at that game for a beginner, but I'm not an expert. All my views on that game are formed upon my very limited experience of the game, because I have been playing it for 3 weeks. There are guys around who are posting videos in YouTube and have been playing for months. So while I can do those tutorial videos, and I'm doing them, I think they are better sources of information about that game than me. I think I will post more gameplay of Warland Airland Battle than tutorials, because I think my playstyle is more interesting than where I have to teach people about a game that other people know a lot more than me. I have to be honest here. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys saying, "Hey, I'm very good at this game. I'm going to explain it to you." Well, I think I'm decent enough at that game to give you a formed opinion on how it plays, and to give some guides. But I think there are better sources out there than me. It's kind of the way it goes. Raptor, ICBM, Vulkan HD Gaming, for instance, are two of the best sources of Wargame in YouTube. All I can do is to try and try to explain how I see the game and how it works for me, and do tutorials according to that. But I don't think I'm the best source of information for that. But still, people ask for it. It's coming. Next question. Next question is, well, actually two in one. Ram, do you think assist awards should be greatly increased? What about sharing of kill credits if two or more playing contribute greatly to the downing of an enemy plane? What do you think of the Italian five fighters? Are you looking forward to flying them where they are released? Well, I'm going to address the last one first because it's going to be a quick answer. I have spoken about this in previous with Rams. The Series 5 Italian fighters are some of the fighters I'm most and strongest in my kind of anticipation scale. They were very good fighters, and they will probably be really good as well in the game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them, and I will, of course, try them out and enjoy them because they were really good planes. Now, as for the first question, assist awards. The problem here is not as much the award system as the player moral standards. I mean, if I see, and you have seen me a lot in my videos doing this, if I see someone is behind a bandit and is fighting to it, and is clearly going to win the fight, I'm not going to dive to kill that guy. I'm not going to take that kill from him because he has earned it. He has worked for it. He's about to get it, and even when I'm in a vantage point where I can try to go on diving on that guy and destroying it and getting a kill, I'm not going to, because that's cheating on someone else's work. The problem is that very few people share that moral standard, at least from what I see. And there's no excuse about the award system being higher or lower or whatever. The problem is that people like the little number of kills besides their name. It has nothing to do with experience points. It has nothing to do with Lion rewards. Even while everyone does the point and excuse of saying, no, it's because the game only rewards kills. No, people don't do that for the reward. People do that because they want to see their name in the kill feed. Nothing else. And if that means crapping on someone else who has worked for that kill, who has been fighting that guy from 7,000 meters down to the deck, has worked hard to get that kill, they don't care. I mean, it's a game, I'm going to kill any enemies no matter what because we should kill enemies. Well, there are, I mean, it sets a low standard. The excuse of it's a free kill because it's red and we are in a game to kill enemies. Well, yes, but if one teammate of yours has worked hard to get that kill, you just exploiting that and getting the kill instead of him is so low. It's so. I mean, it's disgusting, and it happens all the time. And I don't think higher assist awards would help rectify that situation at all. Because the problem is not the rewards. People don't do that for the reward. They make the excuse. I mean, it's an excuse for them. It's like saying, oh, because I want to go further in my evolution and the higher rewards are in killing enemies. And so I kill enemies. Well, that's an excuse. No, they kill enemies because they want to see that kill in their kill feed. Nothing else. That's the thing. They want the kill. And the experience is, and the lions are a mere excuse. There's nothing about that. They don't kill still because of the lions. They kill still because they are scumbags and they want that kill. They want the kill they didn't earn, and they want the kill they didn't deserve, and they want to take the kill from someone else just to have them on their own. And that has nothing to do with team tactics. This has nothing to do with the objective of the game is killing enemies. Yes, the objective of the game, one of them, is killing enemies. But if your friend, if your teammate is going to do it anyway, who are you to take that from the guy who has really earned it? It's so immoral, it's so low, it's so disgusting, and it happens all the time. So again, the problem is not within the game. And while I think that adding assist awards would be great, because I do think that many times there are very legit cases of combat where you get hits on an enemy heavy hits, and someone else gets the kill, allegedly, because you are all in a huge football or you are in a huge dogfight. I have had some really good shots at an enemy, but someone else deals the killing blow, and it's a perfectly legit thing. He gets the kill and you get very few things, so it's kind of disappointing. So yeah, it's fair. I think they should have higher rewards for assists, maybe even third kills, if you ask me. But I don't think this would solve the main problem, which lies behind all these things, which basically is people kill stealing. And again, people kill steal not because the award system is broken. People kill steal because they are scumbags. And people are scumbags in the dimensions and ways that I can't simply understand. That let me make an instance here. Just 2 days ago, okay, I was just playing War Thunder for fun, which happens less and less as time goes by, and of course the thing that I'm going to explain right now just takes away from my desire to play the game. So we were in spherical battles. I was flying a Focus 180. We were over bulls. And more or less midway, midway late game, I was maybe at 4,000 meters, maybe 6 kilometers away from the enemy air base, and I spotted a very damaged P-38. Obviously, going back to land and repair. There were some more enemies around. Well, not around. I mean, I had other options, not really close by. But well, I just looked down, saw the guy damaged, going back to land, and I thought, nah. I mean, the guy can barely fly the plane. He's just trying to RTB and repair it. It would be a really dick move to dive on him and destroy him as he's landing. So I just move away. Got damaged, got a black wing, had to RTB. So I RTB'd. Dived away, tried to get my speed high, landed the plane, stopped it on the field, and then I noticed that 2 enemies were coming for me. I was the last one alive in my team at that point. The last one. I mean, there were no one else. So I spotted them, they were coming. And as I take off, I tried to head on a BF-109 which was coming for me, a captured BF-109. And as I'm shooting at him, suddenly I notice someone else is trying to get me. Guess who was there trying to get me on takeoff? The same guy I had spared his life before. Just the same guy. I mean, it would have made no difference. I was the last guy in our team. I was going to die. There was no way and question about that. And I knew that. I had landed, I had prepared. I could have quit the battle at that point. I saved my plane. I would have lost anyway. And the game was lost. I mean, there were 5 enemies and I was the only one alive. But I just chose to take off, just in case, to have some fun defensive fighting. And I was hoping for the people, well, to leave me alone while I was trying to get away from my AA. because it's the first thing I was trying to do, to climb away from the AA so we could have a fair fight. Well, not fair, but a fun fight. But instead, these guys came and shoot me just off the airstrip. But to add insult to injury, the guy who really messed me up was the P-38. The same P-38 I had refused to kill before. And he knew it was me, because I complained in chat. His answer was, I wouldn't have minded if you had come for me. Well, that's not the point. The point is that if someone is cool enough and is nice enough to let you land, repair your plane, and keep on having fun in that battle, have the basic decency to answer him with the same coin. But no. When you are given the choice to return the favor, what you do is dive on him and destroy him as he can't maneuver because he's just off the landing strip. That kind of scumbaggery, that kind of lawless behavior, that kind of retardedness is what is killing this game. It's one of the things that is killing this game. That kind of moral standard, that kind of scumbaggery, that kind of being a retard, a bastard, and a scumbag. I was there. I didn't care I was going to lose my plane. I could have exited the plane. I was alone versus 5 enemies. But I was only hoping for a little decency out of them to let me, well, climb out a little bit so we could have at least a decent, well, decent, at least some fun with me trying to avoid a couple of attacks before being totally crippled. But what got me, and what really added insult to injury, not added insult to injury, I mean, I don't have a problem anymore with people strafing you on the airfield. I do have a problem with it, but well, I accept it. Okay, people are going to do that. Probably because there's enough instances in this game of people hiding behind the AK and hiding, just loitering around the airbase, trying for the anti-aircraft guns to do the job for them. So I can't blame people for not making an exception out of me, because not everyone knows me, and maybe they are expecting, well, this guy has landed, he's just going to do circles around the airbase trying the AA to cover for him. So it's okay, it's perfectly fine. Yeah, okay, yeah, the guy just took off, he was shot down, perfect. I wouldn't ever do that, ever. But well, still people do it. Okay, I can see the reason. But come on, someone who has been spared, someone who has seen that the guy who's up top doesn't come for him to get an easy kill, when he was so damaged he could barely land. He couldn't have avoided me had I died before him. But I let him go away. Because I'm not in the game to crap on anyone else's fun. I'm in the game to have fun. And not to spoil others' fun if I can avoid it. For me, it's not fun to dive on a guy who can't avoid. Again, we go to the same thing. It's a little +1 in my kill feed. Who the fuck cares? Did I earn that kill? No. Someone else had damaged him so hard he could barely not fly anymore. He was struggling to reach the base. Had I dived on him and destroyed him in one pass, which was perfectly viable, what kind of satisfaction do I get out of it? None. I get one kill, but for me, there's no big deal in that. I didn't earn that kill. So if I go and kill that guy, what I do is to crap on someone else, to spoil his fun for no real reason, for no good reason. So I'm respecting that guy. I'm offering him a deal of respect. So I at least expect the same coming from him later. But no. He's the first one who dives on me as I'm taking off. And that's the moral standard of the average player of War Thunder. The average player of War Thunder has no moral standard. Has not at all. And covers it with excuses. We are here to kill the enemy. Well, yeah. At what cost? Again, it's not about losing the plane. I knew I was losing the plane. I'm not complaining because I was killed. I knew I was going to be killed. And I could have avoided it just by hitting J as I was in the airfield, repairing the plane, I could have gotten away. I repaired my plane. I was taking off again. I could have gone away clean from that battle without dying, but I choose not to. To have fun out of the AA cover, trying to have some defensive flying. I'm not complaining because I died. I'm complaining because the same guy I spared his life is a douche, is a scumbag, and has the moral decency of a low-end sheep. And was the first one in the rape train to kill the guy who was taking off and was unable to defend himself. That's the kind of stuff I can tolerate. I can't. So, and it's the same with kill steals. People don't care. They will step over anything. Anything. Teammates, enemies, friends alike to get one kill. No matter the cost, no matter I don't know, maybe I'm naive. I don't know. Maybe I'm someone who just wants to be nice with people and expects people to be nice with him. Maybe I'm just that. But for me that got me on fire. It's probably one of the moments I have been more disgusted about this game 2 days ago with this experience. I was so on fire with that. Again, not because I was killed, because I knew I was going to be killed, but because I just witnessed how low people are going to go just to get one kill. It's insane, it's retarded, it makes no sense. It just craps on someone else. For no merit. What's the merit on killing a guy who's just taking off and can't avoid your pass? Did you earn that kill? I mean, it's really, it's something else than just one kill in your kill feed. It's something else than that. No. Nothing at all. But still people do it, no matter what. And as I say, I'm okay with that. I mean, endgame, a lot of people, we are all used to see that. People hiding in AK. And I'm the first one who's disgusted with that. But at least I give the guys a chance to land the plane and quit the game. And if they take off again, and I give them time to move away from the AA cover, so we can have a fight. Of course, I will have the cards to kill him. I will have the advantage, but doesn't mean I'm going to kill him. Usually does, but that at least they have a fighting chance. And that's fair, giving the enemy a fighting chance when there's nothing to lose. I mean, you are in a 5v1, you are not going to lose that. Let's face it. But I was indignant about that. I got it on tape. I got the record. But I'm not going to make a video out of that, of course. But still, I wanted to talk about that. It's so low, and it's the same with kill steals. I mean, you work for 10 minutes in a 1v1 with a guy who you have been fighting from all the way up from 7,000 meters down to the deck, and suddenly someone comes and in one pass backs him. When it's clear I'm going to kill him, because he's run out of altitude, he can't avoid anymore. If the fight has gone from several thousand meters down to the deck, it's because the guy has used the altitude to avoid me. But he's out of altitude, he can't avoid anymore, I'm going to kill him. And now, the first scumbag who's around looks at him, dies on him, and gets him. And the guy who has been fighting this guy for 5 minutes gets nothing in return. Which is kind of, well, it happens all the time. It's the same, people have no morals. And that's what really drives me nuts. But well, and nothing is going to fix it. Let's face it. Nothing is going to fix it. Key rewards? No. There's nothing about that. It's just the people. It's the Call of Duty mentality of I got a 5 kill streak and cool. Kills mean nothing. Your flying is what means anything in this game. Stats are worthless in this game. I've seen people with very good stats who are really crap at this game, and I've seen people with not that great stats who are really good. So the stat mentality, the stat padding mentality, the kill mentality is destroying this game. It's not about that, but yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, next question. Is the Typhoon Mark 1B late worth flying? I have the 1B and I'm not sure if the rank 13 aircraft would be worth it. Yes, it's worth it. You have to keep in mind that Between the Typhoon 1A and the 1B, there's more differences than just the weapons. The 1B is faster, climbs a little bit better, and of course has the Hispano cannons. The 1B late is faster than the 1B, climbs a little bit better as well. So it's a quantum leap in performance. The weapons are the same. The plane maneuvers more or less the same, but the performance is better. At level 13, it's as good as a Typhoon 1B is at level 10. It's a really good fighter. It doesn't come. It's actually very close to the Tempest 5 in terms of how good the plane is. The Tempest 5 is an excellent boom and summer, but kind of lacks in the close firing department because it doesn't turn fight very well. The Typhoon 1B is not as good as a boom and summer. Still is a hell of a boom and summer, but it's better at turn fighting and is slower, climbs a little bit worse, but still, I mean, I would argue that both planes rank very close in quality. They are really good planes. The 1B late is an excellent ride. So yeah, really, try it out. It's worth it. Next question. Ram, have you stopped playing Japanese planes? I think some time ago you had more Japanese plane footage. Yes, I actually don't play Japanese at all anymore. This comes from the when I finally recognized myself that the zeros are currently broken. Seems that 1.37 is bringing fixes for them. They are not going to outclimb anything else as they do now. But at the current state, Japanese planes outclimb anything. They shouldn't. And they retain the excellent maneuverability they should. And it's a constant in the Japanese tree. I mean, then 1Ks are insanely broken, and that's another thing. I mean, you play some nations because you are looking forward trying some high-end planes, and in the Japanese case, the high-end planes are the N1Ks, but N1Ks are broken beyond redemption. I'm not looking forward trying that plane at all, simply by the fact that it's broken. And I'm not going to fly it anyway, so why am I going to spend my time flying Japanese to unlock the N1K when I don't want to fly it? So yeah, so it's a mix of both. I mean, as for now, Japanese planes are broken for the most part. I mean, there are a lot of planes that are overperforming in this game, but there are some particular instances where that overperforming puts them at such a huge advantage that is again the same thing that I said before. Is something about gratification. I want to earn my kills. I want to work for my kills and get satisfaction from the fact that I earned something. If I'm flying a plane that makes it easy for me, it's not me doing the job. It's the plane. It's the tool I use. So I don't feel accomplished by getting kills in a plane that makes things easy for me. So that's why I don't fly zeros at the moment. It's so easy to do well with them. They climb so well and they stand too much damage when they shouldn't. So I don't fly Japanese anymore at the moment. With 1.37 seems that they have been fixed in several ways, so probably there will be a lot of more reasons to fly them for me. But currently I don't fly anymore Japanese planes. No. Next question. Historically and in game, which are the differences between the B17E and the E late? The only thing that comes to my mind would be that the E late can take more damage. Well, that's actually and exactly the truth. The E late had a little bit more armor. A little bit, not much. For all intents or purposes and for gameplay reasons and for gameplay purposes, they are exactly the same plane. So simply, well, there are two of them. I would have rather put an F instead of an E, but well, whatever. That's the thing. That's the way it goes, and that's the thing. They are basically the same plane. Next question. Ram, if you were to quit War Thunder, which aircraft game would you play? I don't know. The thing is that I have fun with many different games. I'm both a simulator and a strategy game lover. And now and then I find some random games that really get my interest, for instance, Hearthstone. If I quit War Thunder, I doubt I'm going to move on to a flying game, because currently there are none that really have my attention. There's War Thunder, but if I quit it, it's because I lost interest. There's well, World of Warplanes, and hell will freeze over before I try that thing out. And there's incoming DCS World War II, which I already said, Oleg Maddox, so big no for me. And there's also Battle of Stalingrad, which is 1C, which were the developers, is the studio that developed IL-2, so another big no for me. There are simply no other things in the market that are getting my attention to the aircraft genre. Probably I would move on to Wargame, I would play more Kerbal, I would play more Hearthstone, I would play more, I don't know. I'm really hyped up and looking forward Elite Dangerous, but that's coming through, well, in 1 year more or less before we can see some footage of it in YouTube. But yeah. Um, I will move on to other things that I have fun with. I don't have to fly planes to have fun in playing games. It's probably the genre I enjoy the most, but I mean there are a lot of other games that I enjoy. Um, and in any case, if I ever quit playing War Thunder, don't worry about the channel because the channel will go on. I mean, I will post whatever I'm playing and interest you guys to see, and I will try to be entertaining and informative. And even then, might do some videos about how historical flying was, engine management, which is still in the to-do things, in the to-do list. So there will be a lot of stuff to do in the channel, even if I don't fly War Thunder anymore, which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. It's a very low chance that that ever happens. But still, the chances are there. But don't worry, if I ever stop playing War Thunder, the channel will go on. So, well, we'll go on to the point of view, guys, wanting to watch me playing other games. Of course, it's all about you. It's not about me. It's about what you guys enjoy watching and you guys enjoy seeing me doing. Next question. Ram, which plane is better for Bumasum, P51 or F4U1C? That's a tough one. Performance-wise, as of Bumasum properties as a plane, the P51 is better. I mean, it's faster, dives better, zooms better. However, the F4U1C is no slouch at diving and zooming, and is very fast as well. Not as fast as the P51, but it's a fast plane, and has 4 20mm cannons, which really increase the chances of you getting one-shot kill passes. And that's huge for a bomb zoomer. If you kill the enemy in one pass, it's much better than if you do in 2 passes. So I would say they are very close together, and they would compare very closely. If I'm given the chance between the two, I would fly the P51, simply because of the fact that the performance is better. And while the weapons are weaker, they still are effective. At least for me, I know there's a lot of things going on about the 50 cals in the game, but for me, the 50 cals have always worked for me in historical battles. I don't know. I know there are a lot of people who complain they don't work. For me, they do. So I guess I go by personal experience here. For me, the 50 cals work perfectly. They work wonders. The 650 cal battery, the P51D, is not by far the best weapon setup in the game, but it works for me. So if I'm given the chance to choose between both, I would go with the Mustang, but would be a close call. I mean, I wouldn't complain if I was given the F4U1C instead. Next question. Hey Ram, what do you think about the Henkel HE100? I have always been interested in the plane, as I believe that it would have been truly great if it was developed and turned to the center of the Focus 180. Also, do you think they will add it into the game? Well, I can see it into the game. I mean, the Henkel 112 is in the game, so why not the Henkel 100? Now, as for the plane itself, I'm not a huge fan of it. I mean, it was too small. In some sense, it's a plane that follows the later Soviet doctrine about fighters, which is to make them as light, aerodynamic, and small as possible, and to put the engine they could, the heavier engine they could on that, on the most powerful engine they could on that. Um, However, I'm not a huge fan of that idea. Well, obviously not, because I'm a huge fan of heavy fighters. Not heavy fighters in the sense of the Mi-410, for instance, but planes that are heavy, so they are good at boom and zoom. Such a plane would never be good at boom and zoom. Would be a German Spitfire, for instance. I'm not a huge fan of the Spitfire. It was a very good fighter, but it's not my style. As for the historical place of the Heinkel 100, what would have been had it been developed? Well, it's a huge what if, but it wasn't developed. And for a reason, I mean, the engine simply was in too high of a demand to power two different fighters for the Luftwaffe. Well, that was the reason why the Focke 590 saw service, because it was using a different engine. Um, Overall, I think the BF-109 was better, simply because it was larger and had more expansion room, I think. Um, when the moment came, when the DB601 engine reached its peak performance and couldn't be developed anymore, they simply moved on to a better engine, the DB605. And they had to do some extensive modifications to the BF-109 airframe to take the bigger engine. And I don't know if the the Heinkel 100 would have been able to take that engine without some really major, not extensive, major changes to the plane that would have probably killed the reason it was so good, which was it was really great from an aerodynamic point of view. I honestly think the BF-109 was better, simply because it had more potential to be better. The Heinkel 100 was really good, but I don't see how it could have been improved with the times. I mean, the air technology really advanced in huge leaps from 1939 up to 1945. And the BF-109 was able to take all those advances and still was a very competitive and deadly fighter in 1945. I don't know if the Heinkel 100 would have been able to do the same. I think it wouldn't. As for being in the game, yeah, of course, it should be. It should be. I mean, it was not operational, but it actually saw combat. Well, at least service as a factory defense fighter. So it has a place. Probably as a premium, but it has a place in the game. So I really want to see it in the game as well. Yeah. Next question. Ram, do you think we should have autogyros as targets in War Thunder? Well, as long as they don't count as air kills, why not? We have captive air balloons in the game, so why not autogyros? So, well, yeah, I guess, but they weren't that common actually. I mean, yeah, they were used, but mostly in the backlines. I mean, they were more of a liaison asset than a fighting asset. So yeah, well, some of them like random things on the maps would be like cool and add flavor. Why not? But not as air kills. I mean, we have enough with the AI, so no more stat padding objectives. Count it as a ground target as the air balloons count. So yeah, why not? Next question. Ram, I need to get enough live in game about World War II fighters, arcade simulation. I don't care. All I need is a control system similar to War Thunder's mouse aiming. Please help me. Could you give me some titles that fulfill my expectations? I have to be honest. I don't know any other game that has a control system close to War Thunder. It's one of the things that really makes War Thunder so appealing. It's not just the graphics. It's the way that the control system with mouse and keyboard is viable. And how good it works at times. There are some other times where it simply sucks because of the wobbling and instructor and all that stuff. But for the most part, it really gets the job done really, 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 really well. I mean, it's really difficult for a proper air game to give you the amount of control over your actions that War Thunder gives you using just keyboard and mouse. I mean, air games are really, they are made for joysticks, and the way War Thunder adapts it to keyboard and mouse is really epic. I mean, it's really good, and I don't know something like it. I mean, I don't know something that comes close. I know some other games that work really well with joystick, but not with keyboard and mouse. To be honest, I don't know. I can't give you a title because I don't know any title that gives you the control that War Thunder gives you. Really, I'm sad because I really would love to give you a proper answer to this one, but I don't have any. I don't have any. I don't know any other game like War Thunder, or I mean, with this thematic, with this in this genre, that offers you a good control with keyboard and mouse. I simply don't know. So sorry. And next and last question. Well, actually, more than a question is a comment, but I guess the question is implicit, whether I agree or not. I definitely think there should be more rewards for landing your plane when you are damaged, or, for instance, to save your pilot from death, even if your plane gets destroyed. This will force people to try to land the plane when heavily damaged instead of just letting it crash. I kind of agree. I kind of agree. I think there's already an inbuilt system that works in the way that if you don't totally smash your plane, you don't pay the full repair cost, which in a kind of way already incentives you to try to save as much of the plane as you can. But I don't think parachuting is really rewarded because you pay the full repair of the plane. You are paying for the full cost of a plane you lost. So probably adding a little bit of saving of money for saving your pilot would be really cool. And I think it should work that way. And I really think that at some point or moment, Gaijin intended it to be that way, but it's simply not into the game right now. But yeah, I do agree. I think that enforcing you to fly realistic is always good. Well, not realistic. I mean, enforcing you to play along the lines of common sense in real life is always good in a game that simulates real life. So if you were in a burning plane in World War II, you wouldn't turn around waiting for the flames to go away. I mean, you would be opening the canopy to parachute out just as soon as you could, because otherwise you would be roasted alive in your cockpit. And in War Thunder, where we see people in flaming planes turning around, just trying to get one more kill before they die. That's just one instance. So yeah, I definitely think there should be some way to reward. Well, shit, I'm on flames. I'm going to bail out. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for this video and this week's weekly Jam with Ram. Remember, as always, to post the questions you want in the comment section below, to upvote those questions that you want to see answered, and well, to give any feedback you want. Also, by the way, what you are looking at right now in the clip right now is exactly why I don't complain about people shooting me on the airstrip at the end of the game anymore. This kind of attitude is what really what this guy is doing is what people really hates. And you can see it done all the time in the game. The last guy alive hugging the Yak and trying to hide behind it instead of quitting the game, and forcing everyone to waste their time getting all the anti-aircraft guns before killing him, even when he was given the chance to land before. So yeah, yes, people assume by default that the last guy is going to do this kind of crap, so they simply don't care about shooting it on the airfield. So it's kind of a boomer for everyone, for the people who are wanting to end the game, a won game already, and for the people who, yes, what they want is not to hide in ACK, but having a fun fight. Yeah, but whatever. Anyway, guys, as I said, this is it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to post your questions and comments down below to upvote those you want to see answered in the next video of Jump with Ram. And as always, thank you very much for watching and see you later.